everybody. Welcome back to Cool Games Inc., video game design podcast from Polygon.com. I'm Griffin McElroy.
I'm Nick Robinson.
This episode's going to be a lightweight. It's going to be a little one. Oh, just a wafer, just a snack.
Speaking of little ones.
Speaking of little ones, I've got my own little wafer at home.
Is that what you call him?
Yeah, his name is Lil Wafer. And he's great. No, yeah, I had a baby. My wife and I had a baby. He's 2 weeks old today. So we missed a couple CGIs.
Understandably, I think.
Understandably, because here's the thing I didn't realize, Nick, about podcasting. I'm not sure if you realize it too. But when you sleep, and I'm going to get very like Little Big Planet, like Imagisphere right now, but you get whisked away to sort of another world, don't you?
Right, yeah, you're kind of gone from this realm.
Yeah, you're gone from this realm and you go to like the dream realm. And it's all just a bunch of like floating crystals and, a lot of pastel colors. That's what my dream world looks like. But you're there and you're just like floating around and you feel so safe and so warm. And I realized, Nicholas, while I'm in the dream verse, I am filled with podcast energy.
Oh.
So I'm floating around these crystals.
It's sort of a pink crystal you're talking about.
Sort of a pink crystal or a turquoise crystal, and I'm floating around in my slumberverse, and the crystals are irradiating me with podcast energy. And so I wake up and I gotta go. I get on the mic and I call you up. And
you kind of got to drain yourself of it, you're saying.
Yes, but like a fucking Final Fantasy villain, my baby has drained the Dreamverse of all of its podcast energy.
That's so interesting. So you're telling me that it's the same resource. The resource that babies sap from you to stay alive is podcast energy. They're one and the same.
My baby's on two things right now. Breast milk, can't get enough of the stuff. Mm-hmm. And then also daddy's dream energy. Daddy's dream energy.
Yeah, daddy provides his podcast juice, and both of them, I think, give you all the nutrients you need if you're a growing boy.
Yeah, and so I close my eyes in the nighttime, and then I see the crystals approaching. Here it comes, the slumberverse, I say. Time to get that good podcast. And then a giant baby appears. And he says, "No, daddy." And then pops two air horns off, and one for each ear. And then I'm shook from the slumberverse, and I didn't get any podcast juice in me.
Oh, no. And then I'm assuming when you come to, there's an actual sort of a loud baby in your house, and it's yours.
Yes. It exists in two planes. So we missed a couple CGIs. And that's the reason why. Just the crystals haven't been there.
It was a crystal, the classic crystal. I mean, a lot of my favorite podcasts have fallen victim to that exact same problem.
So now I'm using dream crystals of another kind, which is to say trucker speed, and I'm ready to do this fucking episode.
Oh, you're using not crystals, you're using crystal.
I'm using the crystal, yeah, that Chris.
That's how I get through pretty much every workday. We're gonna do this is in case people haven't heard Cool Games Inc. Jr. before. It's sort of a special format for this podcast, and by special I mean it's the same but it's shorter. There's less of it, and we're gonna kind of knock out. We might not pick a winner the way we usually do, if you can call it that. No, but we
will provide you 20 to 25 minutes of good podcast entertainment.
Yeah, this is you will technically get an MP3 in your inbox.
And then I'm going to go drink a bunch of water. I'm going to go lay down on a couch somewhere.
Oh, you sleepy man. All right, here are some ideas submitted to reddit.com/r/coolgamesinc. We got a bunch, as you might expect. We're a little pent up.
We got a backlog.
I believe
the septic tank is overflown.
The exact number is 1746. That's how many submissions we got this time.
Reddit can't hold that many.
That's the year that this country was founded, I think. Here's one from Jason Stakums, who says, I don't know that we need to start with this one. Mayonetta. It feels good to be back, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take all the angels out of the game and the demons out of the game.
What do we replace them with?
Hot dogs and hamburgers and sandwiches.
Oh, that's fun. Kind of a combo. Imagine you're juggling an enemy combatant, and they're made of hot dogs, and you're with each hit, your clothes, which are made of mayonnaise. I'm assuming because
that's miserable.
It's really gross. You're using that to kind of coat these combatants with the right amount of mayonnaise, but not too much mayonnaise, because there is, and I've learned this over the past year, there is too much of a good thing when it comes to mayonnaise.
I think right hand, you're holding one of those squeeze bottles of mayo. Left hand, squeeze bottle of ketchup. Right foot, for the stiletto heel, it is a squeeze bottle of mustard. Left foot, heel, sriracha.
Ooh.
And you're just spinning around and you're doing a fucking you're doing one of those spin art things on a sandwich. And then you eat it I guess your mayonnaise suit turns into like a demon and a demon eats it.
I love that. So at the end of any attack, you can keep holding down that face button to just continue squirting the stream. But in this game, I mean, I feel like in Bayonetta, you're encouraged to kind of keep moving, keep attacking at all times. In this game, you're using kind of a degree of restraint, which I would maybe say Platinum Games is not known for in their games necessarily, which I think is kind of a fun twist on an old classic. My main concern, and I think you maybe alluded to this a second ago, is there's a very high yuck factor in terms of Bayonetta's appearance. Bayonetta, obviously, canonically, all of her clothes are made out of hair or something, and the more attacking she does, her clothes turn into hair that turns into attacks, or like a big dragon made of hair.
So maybe she's all mayo all the way down, baby.
All the way to the root. So
all the way to the root. To her core, she is Hellman's mayo, and Hellman will help us pay for the venture.
I like that. I'm a craftsman myself, but I can respect Hellman's.
As long as we can agree, fuck Miracle Whip right in its ass.
It's a game about mayonnaise, not about bullshit, so that's an easy one.
How about this one from A Real Leg, who says, it's like a dating sim, but instead of cute anime girls, you have 6 new stepsons, and the goal is to get one of them to think of you as their real dad. And there's going to be a secret route with the 7th secret son.
I love that. So let's deal with the initial six dwarves here.
Okay, so there's sports son Jeremy.
Right.
Jeremy loves sports, and you don't know that much about sports, so his branch is all about sort of like learning what his favorite teams are, and maybe like throwing a puck, sort of rolling a puck to him.
This is interesting to hear you kind of struggle with it, because my concern with this podcast was that now that you're a father, you would know about games that aren't like NBA 2K18.
I mean, that's my baby right there.
Oh, NBA? You love the...
No, literally. At the hospital, he came out, and it was a disc of NBA 2K18. And it has a great... it was weird, because I saw the ultrasound, and it looked like there were baby features in it, but no, it is the disc, and it's disappointing.
We always see what we want to see in those ultrasounds, don't we? It's kind of like a Rorschach test.
Yeah, it's like, look at those chubby cheeks. No, that's the disc spindle. So should have seen that coming. Anyway, big disappointment, but the career mode is pretty solid on this one.
It's so funny because I just feel like that you would have mentioned that earlier in the show if that was the case, because it's a video game podcast, and that the fact that your baby is a disc of NBA 2K18, which is not out yet.
It's not out yet. Yeah, that's why it's so cool. Like that's why it's so
that
cool
is actually, because I would expect you to be mad, but the fact that you have the only copy.
No, I'm like the only one playing it. Like
if you think about it, you could go to 2K and be like, hey, I could save you like $3 million in game development.
Go to Tiburon, sell my son.
Yeah, sell your
they
son.
Make those, right?
Sell that son to Tiburon. Save him a dev cycle. They can start working on 2K19 and really polish that up.
My boy, I sold the Tiburon.
I love that's what There Will Be Blood is about.
I'll give it to him. I'll sell it to him. I'll be like $3 million, and they'll be like, here you go. And I'll wink. I'll be like, now you can get a jump start on 2K19.
Yeah,
and then they'll always be 1 year ahead. That's why all these fucking sports games are 1 year ahead. It's because I sold them my dang sons.
you screwed up the schedule a little bit.
Screwed up the schedule, pushing forward a year. I'm so fucking tired, Nick. Oh my god!
What were we talking about? Oh,
okay. So you have another
son.
You just Jeremy the sports son. You've got Derek the sensitive. No, the sensitive son wouldn't be named Derek. We'd name like Ian.
Ian is definitely the sensitive son. There could be a science son. He's got kind of a lab coat on.
Miles.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
The fourth son is Derek, and Derek doesn't have any sort of characteristics.
He's kind of an all-arounder.
Just an all-around boy. Yeah. And then the fifth son is named also Jeremy. And that's a challenge, is you have to tell them apart. And he's kind of a romantic, so you're trying to Love Actually style help him hook up with the girl that he's in love with at school.
He's got a crush at school. I like that.
The sixth son is not. No one's gonna fuck around with the sixth son.
Well, he's stinky.
He stinks. That's his whole thing.
I was kind of thinking that in case we ran out, we could actually start using the 7 dwarves, which is.
Oh, okay.
There is what are they again? We could have a stinky son. We could have a grumpy son. Well, those are all kind of negative adjectives. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to date those guys.
So the secret seventh son is going to be Supersonic from Sonic the Hedgehog when he gets all the emeralds.
Yeah, but the thing about Supersonic that I'm worried you didn't consider is that Supersonic, his ring counter is constantly ticking down, and so you need to keep that boy on a strict diet of rings, like 1 per second, or he just goes back to being maybe a third Jeremy. And
I've been playing a bunch of Final Fantasy 15 during my paternity leave. Which, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I recording this podcast? I'm actually not getting paid to do this right now.
that's true. I hope people appreciate that you're doing this for the love of the game.
I don't want to spoil anything in Final Fantasy 15. I'm like basically at the end of it right now, but there are a bunch of boss fights that are essentially fucking Noctis eats the Chaos Emeralds and then turns into Supersonic and continues the fight while fucking Escape from the City plays in the background.
That sounds like a good game.
And it's a pretty good game.
It also, it's kind of, there's a fun, I can see why you could, during a paternity leave, there's maybe something nice about just having a little bit of chill with the boys, bro time, road trip action.
Yeah, because I haven't, it's just cool to like see people get in a car and go somewhere.
That's the finalist, that's the most fantasy
It's
of
the
all.
most
is
Final Fantasy. And then
house.
you can like go to a hotel, and then they all go inside and sleep in beds.
For like, are you talking about they sleep for 45-minute bursts and then they are woken up by some
No, they
screaming?
sleep and they get big experience point bonuses.
One big chunk of sleep. But
There's
for like
an actual
8 or 9
literal
hours.
crystal that they are all irradiated by. So then I'm jealous on all accounts. How about a different one?
Okay. Here's one from Pet Kitties who says, Burnout, but with horses.
Yes!
It's so good.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's one of those ones where it's just, it's all right there on the table for us. All we got to do is pick it up and put it in our mouth.
At this point, I would do fucking Burnout with grocery store carts. I would do, just give me Burnout back, please. Hey, Griffin, play Forza Horizon 3. You're going to love it. It's better than Burnout. No, it fucking isn't.
If you
it's not
want
even
Burnout
fucking
with
close.
Burnout, but with no crashes.
Without
Burnout,
crashing. And it's everything's all like you're driving a big tank that looks like a sick car.
Every time I play a racing game and I'm like so excited to love a racing game again, I get to a load screen where a tooltip pops up and it's like, hey, don't bump into the other drivers. You'll both lose speed. And I'm like, fuck this shit. This sucks. This is the opposite of what I want. Burnout, like literally Burnout 3 Takedown broke the way I think about racing games because now when I play any licensed racing game and it tells me not to bump in other cars, I'm like, why would I? Why? I don't want to drive safe.
That game specifically, Burnout 3 Takedown, holds up better than maybe any game ever.
It is wild how good that game still is. It's still like the sound design and everything is out like just through the roof.
I picked it up on like the Xbox Classics store or whatever, and like playing Crash Mode in that game is still like the most fun. Anyway, we are singing the praises of a 15-year-old game. Horses, let's get horses up in it. Let's use Burnout 3 Takedown as the sort of
yes,
the mold here.
Totally.
There's horse racing mode where you can draft and drift and you can bump them into the walls, and then do the horses die? Do they die?
Well, I mean, think about it, Griffin. Do the cars die in Burnout? First of all, there's no driver in Burnout, right? It's just the car by itself. So this is just a horse by itself with no, I guess the driver of a horse isn't really the guy riding it though. It's the horse's soul, right?
I do want jockeys. I do want customizable jockeys.
Interesting. Okay. For kind of a fun Trials ragdoll vibe. Because the thing I'm picturing is rolling up next to a car and kind of slamming into the side of it, checking it into like a wall or a tree and watching that horse in slow motion wrap itself around that tree and then getting a ton of boost out of it. Or carrots, I guess.
So unlike Burnout, it does have like, we're going to get that fucking Dark Souls Havoc wobbly body engine where like when they wreck, they just go.
I guess that, I mean, because the big question for me is how realistic. The thing that made Burnout special was that they went to town on like it was kind of a proto BeamNG drive, just in terms of I had never seen a car crunkle up like the way it
crunkles
did.
Up real good.
Do we want to see that? Do we want to see horses do that, or do we want it to be a little sillier? Well,
when horses do that, they're dead. They die from it. So like the fucking Preakness, 2 horses died at the Preakness this year, and it was literally one got so exhausted. Whew, good race. I'm winded. Time to die. And then the other one like fucking stubbed its toe and its knee like exploded, and it's like, well, that one's done too. Shit, 2 horses at one race event. So like if we're doing this thing and you're rubbing a horse up against a guardrail going 130 miles an hour with the boost going, and the boost is going to be funny like fart, like a butt, like it's coming out of your butt.
You guys, okay, I see your vision.
You push a horsey up against a guardrail going 130. It's like if tripping kills them, then
yeah, it just would cease to be. But I guess we kind of find a middle ground between the two where you smush the horse against a guardrail, sparks start flying. We got a lot of good particle effects there. That's going to look good. I'm just curious, like, how, when you get in a sort of a head-on traffic check collision with the horses, by the way, there are definitely pedestrian, like, horses going down the street that you have to avoid. Like, just a full street traffic of horses. If you get in a head-on collision with another horse, does it go to, like, maybe a Mortal Kombat 9 X-ray skeleton view?
Oh no, I don't want that.
Or is that
no.
Okay,
no. That's not fine.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
In Burnout 3 Takedown, you don't see the fucking driver like being crushed inside of the cars as they, you know?
Yeah. So I guess I'm just trying to think of a way to represent this without crossing that line. If we can get what's a guarantee that we could give people so that, like, because they took the drivers out of Burnout so we don't have to feel bad about the car crashes. What's the horse version of that? Do we take the soul out? The eyes? Yeah, because that's where they lie. So that's promising.
No, these horses don't have eyes. You're their eyes, you the player. And that's what it'll say, like, when it pops up. When you play Final Fantasy 15, every time you turn it on, it says Final Fantasy for first timers and people who've played Final Fantasy before or something like that. And it's like, thank you. It's a weird splash screen. So this one, and when you play Burnout Horses, it'll be like, you are the eyes for the horses.
Is there going to be like an unskippable DJ Atomica like thing at the beginning where it's just showing flyovers of this empty city full of
like,
horses?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pony City. I'm DJ Equestro, and you're ready to fuck these guys up. And then fucking Offspring starts playing.
This game is a good game, and I would like to play it.
Here's the problem. Burnout 3 has so many great unlockables, right? You get the, like, sick-ass muscle cars. You get the different trucks that you can use in crash mode. By the way, there's definitely a horse crash mode.
Oh, man, we didn't even touch that
We didn't even touch on that. And it's going to be essentially a reskin of Burnout 3. So you run your horse very, very fast on the side of an oil tanker. It's still going to go. Like, it doesn't matter that it's a horse. Like, it's still going to go.
Right.
The problem with these unlockables is like, and I other games have tried this. Red Dead Redemption's a great example. I didn't buy, like, obviously I did buy some new horses just so I could go faster, but it's just different colored ponies.
They all felt pretty much the same to me.
I would want like a World of Warcraft level of variation between these horses. Something you're really going to do some in-game, like, real currency transactions for.
So kind of we could get more diversity in the kind of the horse body types than you see in a typical video game. We could
Six
have
legs.
A six-legged horse, an extremely fat horse, a police horse.
A police horse is fun. A spider horse, a horse with 8 legs with a big fat torso and a stinger.
That's good. That's got a lot of stability. You can't knock him down too easily, but he's very fragile in the leg department. So if you sidle up against him, you start breaking those horse legs. It spins out of control.
Seabiscuit, and this one is going to have Tobey Maguire. Wait, was he in Seabiscuit?
Yes.
No, was I thinking about Spider-Man?
No, Tobey Maguire was in Seabiscuit, or is it Horse Letariat? Isn't that a horse?
Horse Letariat is one of them. So he could be the jockey, but I think there's also an unlockable where it's just Tobey Maguire, and he runs very fast on the side of the trucks.
I like that. So he's kind of the Sonic the Hedgehog in this situation, because
Sonic the Hedgehog would also be in the game, but it would be a horse, like a big blue spiky horse.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving the mental image of Tobey Maguire running alongside some horses, and his legs have kind of been reduced because he's moving so fast. His legs are kind of a blur of red. Do you know what I mean? Because he's got those red classic Sonic shoes on. He has the pumps,
yeah. This is man. I think I maybe just kind of want to play Burnout. So, like, what happened to those? What happened to Criterion? Because I know, like, some of them went and did Ghost games.
Yeah,
for a while, and then Criterion's like
they spun Criterion out.
They got split up and, like, divided, like, 6 ways to Sunday. I don't even know where those people are.
So working. I think a lot of them got turned into, you said Ghost games, right? That was like the Need for Speed sweatshop. some of the founders left and made Dangerous Golf, and then apparently the word on the street is that they might be working on a spiritual successor to Burnout right now, which yes, oh my god, please, I fucking
yeah, just like they're working on that fucking all-terrain, all-vehicle, open world fucking driving game.
Oh yeah, so that is what Criterion was apparently doing, but that game has vanished. Criterion is apparently, they did a fucking Star Wars Rogue One PlayStation VR experience or some shit. So
it's
that's
like, you guys made the best racing game ever. We're gonna just fucking dissect you.
Yep.
And we're gonna bury you in 7 different places around the world like you're fucking Horcruxes.
Right. If it's like someone at EA figured out that they're too powerful, and it might be up to us to reassemble the team.
We will scatter your ashes, and we will lock them up in 7 different vaults with 7 different keys at the bottom of the ocean.
Now I'm sad about Criterion.
Yeah, me too. But let's not think about that, because we're eating their lunch right now with this good horse racing battle game. I brought my Xbox to high school once so I could play that in AV class.
Burnout 3?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm doing a video package on it. And I did a video package for my school news, and it was, I forget what it's about, but I think the premise of it was video games, they're here to stay.
It's so true. If you could dig that up for me, Griffin, and just upload that right to our YouTube channel.
I would love to, dude. I would love to find my package on, I think, Halo 2 also. Really, I just wanted to play Xbox at school.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Wow. Those were the days.
My thing was like bringing a DVD player into my journalism class and making them watch 2 episodes of Stella, starring Michael Ian Black, Michael Showalter,
sure.
and David Wayne. This is I think it was maybe the end of the school year, and so things were winding down. But everyone seemed to like it. I had to kind of skip some of the edgier material, but
like Dick Fish.
But it went over really well.
I think that might be the game. Burnout Horses. Well, no, we need a good name for it, because I don't think we can call it Burnout.
Just call it Burnout Horses.
So when I played Red Dead Redemption, and is that game can I play that on my PS4? I know I can play Red Dead Revolver.
You can play. Wait, shit! I totally forgot that Red Dead Redemption was a thing at all. The original Red Dead Redemption, I don't think is backwards compatible anywhere.
Stinks. I want to play it. But I don't want to plug in all my old shit. I used to play a game called Pony Pile, where I would get on the online mode and I'd get my posse together, and then we would just like stand in a ravine somewhere, or like some sort of narrow passageway, and just keep whistling for our horses and putting them down.
That's a PlayStation 2 game, right?
No. Redemption was Revolver was, I think, a PS2 game. Redemption was 360 PS3.
Yeah.
You whistle for the horses and you kill it, and you add it to the pile, and then you whistle, and just another horse is just going to keep coming. Okay. And you can build a pretty sizable stack of guys.
Right.
So I think the title Pony Pile is actually very, very good, and I wouldn't mind using it for this.
I think we could make that work. You can play Redemption on the 360 now. It's now backwards compatible if you have the disc.
No. You could play it on the 360 before.
Sorry, on the Xbox One. The Xbox One now has.
I see.
So I was actually playing that like a month ago, and I realized something that I did not remember about that game is that if you walk your horse off of a cliff and that angle gets a bit too steep,
he'd just go. Yeah.
That hill cliff horse starts tumbling.
He starts tumbling around.
And he fully ragdolls out.
God, and then we'll borrow those physics. We'll borrow them. I'll open it up. I'll open up the game and
Dude, I remember during like the press cycle for Red Dead Redemption that Rockstar was bragging that like they had modeled out all the individual muscle movements underneath the skin of every horse in the game to make the most realistic horse models ever. That can't go to waste.
No,
we need to nab that.
I mean, they'll definitely use it for RDR2, but we will use it for PP.
I mean, if RDR2 comes to PC. Maybe we just hack this in. Maybe this is just a Red Dead Redemption 2 mod.
I'll just drop it in Unity, select all assets.
You gotta right-click on the file, click Export Horse, drag and drop it into Maya.
What's this in the code? It's a Trojan horse. Nice try, Rockstar. Delete. Oh, it looks like you've got a little bit of ice in here. Let me just shatter that. I've cracked your fucking code.
These are my horses now.
Now these are my... What's this on the horses? A small watermark to prevent this sort of theft? Select all watermark. Delete. You've just been hacked by the best, Rockstar.
Oh boy.
Snow Crash. Thank you all for listening to Cool Games Inc. Mm-hmm. Again, we did warn you it was going to be a short one, and I feel guilty about that, but mostly I just feel tired.
That makes sense. That would be your prevailing emotion right now. I do think this horse game is very, 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 very exciting, though.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. As much as I, can be excited for things anymore. Let's wrap it up, and thank you all for listening. And Nick, thank you for joining me. We're gonna do another one of these fucking right after this, so it's sort of tempering my excitement for this conclusion, and I think that probably comes through in the pudding here.
You can kind of feel it, but that's all right.
Feel it. But we'll be back with another mini episode next week, and I guess we'll probably be back with like our regular stuff in 2017.
Yeah, January.
And back in January. So look out for it. Keep an eye out. Keep an ear out. Anything else?
I think that's it. Cool Games Inc. Animated goes up on youtube.com/Polygon every Monday. The one coming up this upcoming Monday is fucking really incredible.
Ooh.
I think it's this Monday. Yeah.
I have not been at work for 2 weeks, so I'm excited to see it as well. Speaking of which, some of our other stuff like Touch the Skyrim is on hold also. Sorry. My baby came a bit early, so I didn't have time to backlog stuff like that. But yeah.
To answer the people who are asking, Touch of Skyrim will be back.
Oh yeah, it will be back. I'll be back. Carboys will be back. We probably have one more. Do we have enough for one more Carboys?
I really just scraped the bottom of the barrel for this week's episode.
Okay.
It was about
things are gonna
3
be
minutes long.
Things are going to be a bit touch and go for a bit, but 2017 back with a vengeance. We're going to kick your ass.
There's a content thunderstorm brewing. I can see it off on the horizon.
Meet me out in the fucking Costco parking lot. I'll kick your ass. Thanks for listening to Cool Games Inc. I'm Griffin McElroy.
I'm Nick Robinson.
No problem. Fun.